Placing the piston rings on my bike. I'm pretty sure they're pretty dang toasted. Engine looks pretty dang good. A little crusty. What a dog doing? The dog with the fluff on his head. What he doing? Oh my. We could take off the cylinder jug now with the reed thingy still attached. And the carburetor and everything else disconnected. Got it. First try. Awesome. Seems like my cylinder jug gasket was a little messed up. That's why my bike was all oily all the time. Cylinder jug itself looks really good. Not any scoring where I can't see it. It looks pretty healthy. Exhaust port's a little yucky, but that's to be expected. Dang, it's kind of restricted too. I should port this. And that used to not be warped like that. Dang. Hoping the reed valve on this thing is still good. It doesn't sound like it's loose or anything. So that's good. What I'm going after is my damn piston rings. So I'm going to pop in the clutch so I can spin the motor. So something funny happened today. And that little Allen key or bolt thingy backed out and melted the case around there, so that's cool. I'm after these rings though. They're a little bit worn out. So, ooh, she's a little burnt looking. Hope my engine doesn't have rod knock. It still feels healthy. That's not good. So my fucking windowed piston that I made might be a little bit knockety. That's shitty. I'm gonna have to get those piston rings off now. You know something crappy that happened to me once? These little piston retaining clips. I took them out one time and they fell into the crankcase and the engine just ate it. And it's on this same top end and bottom end and it's still fine. So that's something to think about. It's these little turds you gotta be worried about, these little G clips. Ugh, they suck. Alright, now I gotta get this one out. Turns out the little turd muncher was really in there, pretty good. And, ooh, it's really shiny. Anyway, this bearing is just worn out. Still need to replace the freaking journal bearings that go in it too. It's all nice and skinnier where the bearings are supposed to be now, so that's great. I hope the bearings themselves are okay. They're in there. Okay. Let's hope that's a good thing. Okay, so we got our old one right here. It's all worn out and I can feel grooves in it. So that's not really good. Had all these like little bumps in it right here. I think that was from over rev at one point. So that type of stuff happens. This thing's rev so freaking high. Can't believe that happened. Alright, so we've got our new bearing and other stuff, but before we even mess with that, we still gotta take off the piston rings. Piston itself is pretty crusted, but it's okay. Well, I got the piston rings off. That wasn't too hard. It's a little crusty under there, but nothing too bad. Dang. Piston itself seems to be a little burnt. That's to be expected from the crappy fuel I've been running it on and how hard I run this thing. But dang, look at that window. I did that with an angle grinder. That was pretty good. Alright, so I got the old ones off and got the new ones on. That was fun. Notice how they're not shiny metal yet, shiny steel. They're still carbonized on the outside. So I'm going to just put this back in the bike. Alright, got the piston back in. Now I got to put in the retaining clips. Alright, I got one side done. Time to do the other. Wrist pin and piston rings replaced. Looks good. Now I gotta replace the jug gasket right there.
What the dog doing? Max, what are you doing?
This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna put on that gasket without destroying the gasket. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, there we go. Did it. Cylinder jug gasket replaced. Instead of using water pump gasket, use an actual heat tolerant one. So this should work pretty good. I'll just put the cylinder jug back on. Alright, now I just gotta tighten the head down on it, and it's good to go. Head gasket. Cylinder head.
She. That shit thick.
Turns out my cylinder jug still had some of the old gasket on it, so I gotta scrape that off.